This is David Pagnotta talking about both Noah Dobson and JG Pageau.
Host Kate Pedersen, joined by Dave Pagnotta, and we are here in LA getting set for the 2025 NHL draft, which takes place tomorrow. And the team with the number one pick in the draft is the New York Islanders. But there's been some action going on outside of the draft with the Isles, particularly with shopping around Noah Dobson as well as Jean-Gabriel Pageau. So what do you have there in terms of what's happening?
Yeah, Kate, a lot of activity today with respect to the Islanders and what may or may not be happening with them. They obviously, as you said, they have the first overall pick, but they're looking at adding somewhere in that top 5, 6, 7 range. They really like James Higgins. They want to try to figure that out. Now, there's a possibility that they move Noah Dobson in a package and either utilize those assets to move up to get a second first top 7 pick, or maybe they just make a move with Chicago. Maybe they make a move with Utah. There's a lot of moving parts here. There are discussions involving those clubs. We know St. Louis has had discussions as well with respect to Noah Dobson, as well as the Montreal Canadiens and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets love to get their hands on this kid. The Canadiens also very aggressive in having discussions with the Islanders about Noah Dobson as well. So we'll see kind of what transpires here over the next 30 hours or so. We'll see. And then Pageau, another one. He's in his final year of his contract, $5 million cap hit. There are a number of teams that are looking to bring in a 3C. He's somebody that's got a little bit of a lot of no trade protection with the 16-team list. But a lot of moving parts there as well. Keep an eye on Minnesota with Pageau.
Well, you brought up the Habs. They're looking.
Okay. So I think that's good, right?
Yeah, I think the part that stuck out to me, and maybe those watching my reaction saw my eyebrows raised when he mentioned Chicago. I didn't think Chicago would be in on that, but if they're willing to move pick number 3, that would be huge.
Yeah, that would be huge. I don't think so. Isn't there a lot of talk about them with Frundell right now?
Yeah, they apparently really like him. But I don't know. I guess they're willing to take a really big step forward and not have to wait, 2 years for Frundell type of thing. Like they want to give Connor Bedard something to run with today type of thing. And they don't have that. So maybe they'd be willing to move the 3rd overall pick and you get, hey Connor, look, we brought you a 70-point defenseman in Noah Dobson. We had to give up the 3rd overall pick to do it, but we're doing our best by you, buddy.
Good luck. I hope you're not looking for a power play fix.
Maybe it works in Chicago. Maybe it all works there, and he gets to play with Connor Bedard, who's Noah Dobson just throws the puck from the point, and Connor Bedard just bats him in type of thing. I don't know.
Possible, I guess, but interesting. That's not the first time I heard Minnesota with JG Pageau. I know last week the whole talk was Boston, but Minnesota's kind of been the hot name, especially if they're trying to move on from Marco Rossi, right?
Yeah.
And Dobson, it is. And that's what gets me back to the Montreal point when David was mentioning if they acquire assets and then use those assets to move up even higher, that might be like one of those 2-parter scenarios.
Yeah, you said, like we were talking about earlier, right? I think you brought it up saying you move to Montreal and you get the 16 and 17 so you can move up even further. Maybe. It might be like we have to remember this is a new general manager, and maybe when I say we have to remember, I'm maybe more talking to myself, because for years we're like, oh, that's a lot of moves. Lou doesn't do a lot of moves. He's very conservative. We'll do one move and that's about it. What's a whole new GM? If it takes 4 moves to do it, maybe this is the kind of guy who's going to do that. Like, screw it, I'm going to play chess here.
Right, and we don't know how Darsh operates, and something too that I'll go back to that I've mentioned on this show before too. Is I know it's only year 1, but I have a hard time buying that Matthew Darsh doesn't want to make a major move this year. Like, I think he's going to want to leave his mark on this team. Yeah,
I totally agree with you. And so we're going to have to wait and see how he does it. I think he wants to do it at the draft to get that hometown kid. Will the league cooperate? How many times does Toronto or New York get bailed out by someone buying bad contracts for nothing? Why can't we get bailed out by getting James Higgins? Come on.
One time.
Just one time, as we also win the 1st overall pick.